Tokyo, Japan. My name is Gary Verheller, and I'll be your host for what we call the Substance of Living podcast. Today, we'll look at what we call life's lessons. And I hope this will provide you with some insight, maybe even some inspiration to life's challenges. Welcome to episode 58, part 1 of 2, entitled Cowardice and Courage. In every culture, in every country, since the beginning of the human species, the question many men have asked themselves is, am I a man? Am I a man? And what is it to be a man? Strong, brave, honorable, trustworthy, one with integrity, audacity, valor. Then there's the other side. The negative side, the coward. What is cowardice? I looked it up in the dictionary. Lack of bravery. Didn't tell me much. Now, my father was a firefighter. And to me, firefighters are some of the bravest people on our planet. They knowingly, willingly go to work every day with the knowledge that they may be putting their life in danger every single day they go to work. When they do go to a fire, I asked my dad, I said, Dad, are you afraid when you go into a fire? And he said, oh yeah. He said, the only people that aren't afraid are crazy. And we get rid of those people right away because they're dangerous. Being afraid is natural. So even firefighters, who I consider some of the bravest people on the planet, who charge into the fire to save lives and to save their fellow firefighters and to hopefully save the property. In that order, save lives first, save their fellow firefighters and save the property. They're willing to do that. They're still afraid too. So maybe the idea of being a coward is more about failing to take action when it's necessary, out of fear. I remember when I was a kid in elementary school, I avoided fighting. And I thought I was a coward. A number of other kids, not the majority, maybe 10% of the kids fought. But not me. I mean, I would get physically ill if I injured somebody. Literally, physically ill. And I would roughhouse and we'd wrestle and all that with like elementary school kids do. But I never ever wanted to inflict pain. And if I ever did, I'd immediately stop and apologize and try to help the kid. Am I a coward? The inability to take action despite your fear, that's bravery. So I thought, well, maybe I should check reality. In one of my other episodes, I told you about how my parachute didn't open for almost 2,000 meters. And I was convinced when my parachute didn't open. At the very beginning of that experience, I thought I would die. I literally thought I was dying, and I was so afraid. Then I got angry and said, I'm not going to die just by falling. I'm going to make an effort to live. So I took action in spite of my absolute fear of death. It also happened when I was scuba diving a couple of times. Because I'm a scuba diving instructor, and I would lead groups on dives, and this one guy was going way too deep. He was out of control. He was a terrible diver. It's my job to keep my divers safe. So I went after him, and I got him. And he was attempting to inflate his vest. It's called a buoyancy compensator device, BCD. He was attempting to inflate the vest, which of course would bring him up to the surface. But the problem is when you're deep, you're under pressure. When you inflate the vest, that vest is under pressure too. As you go up, the pressure lessens, so you go up faster and faster because the vest is getting bigger and bigger, the less pressure. We call it polaricing, or skyrocketing out of the water. And people die from that. This guy was inflating his vest instead of just simply kicking his feet. And I got to him as he was starting to come up, and I slapped his hand away from the inflate button. And there's an emergency dump button where that emergency dump valve that you can hit, and it will take all the air out of the BCD, which is what I did. And then I flared my feet out, and I was holding on to him, and I was making sure he was not touching that inflate button again. And I slowly brought him to the surface. I thought I would have to go to the decompression chamber along with him. I thought I might die. But interestingly, it was easier that time to take action in spite of my fear of death, because I was taking care of someone else. Isn't that interesting? So, am I a coward? No. I'm just human. Thanks. Thank you for joining us today for the Substance of Living podcast. If you'd be kind enough to consider subscribing, you can contact us through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or connect on Twitter. Join us again next time for what I hope will help you navigate life.